So there's something that's been going on recently that I wanted to address regarding the Bleach franchise and how people are regarding it in retrospect, because nowadays with the 50th anniversary of Shonen Jump approaching, everybody is just kind of reflecting on the old generation and where we're at with the new generation and talking about, well, what's going to be the next big thing. So there's been just so much commotion about the two generations, or the many generations for that matter, of manga and anime, but there's been something that I was not digging. And that's that people feel as though they can rewrite history, or maybe it could just be that people are having misunderstandings because they missed out on that generation and they don't understand what really went down. And what I'm referring to is the generation of the big three.
You're never gonna fly, even if you try. You're never gonna ride. Try to keep your head up, even if you cry. That's just one more reason to try. Reason to try.
Because I've been seeing a lot of things going around with people talking about the big three and what it was and how awesome it is. And you know, I dabble in talking about that occasionally as well. I give my opinion. But something people have been saying that I'm just like, no, you're wrong, is that the big three was Naruto, One Piece, and Dragon Ball Z. And that's just not true. Like, honestly, I've been doing this since 2010. I've been, talking on this channel, and I've been an anime fan for a very long time, even though most people are anime fans and they never really know it. Like, if you like one or two shows that are anime, or you like 3 or 4 shows that are anime, you like something about anime. You just don't really know it because there's plenty of series out there for you to enjoy. So, going into this whole big debate, people are saying that the big three is that, when no, the big three was Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. And let's talk a little bit exactly where that started, because people are just missing out on all the information and are completely slandering Bleach and saying that Bleach wasn't a part of this big legacy that it was. And I think a lot of it also has to do with the way Bleach has been treated and the way Bleach has been represented throughout the years since, I want to say, after Aizen's fight ended. After Aizen's fight was over, it seemed as though there was a big disconnect with Bleach, Tite Kubo, Shonen Jump, the editorial staff, and just about everything to do with the franchise. We saw that the rankings of Bleach dropped dramatically once the Fullbring arc started. You can argue there's a couple different factors. Of course, the content at the time, because remember, I was talking about it at the time, so I seen what people's reactions were, and people hated, okay? People hated, I'm telling you, despised the Fullbring arc. They said that it was boring. They said, because again, we're getting these chapters on a weekly basis at the time, that it was unsuspenseful, misleading, so many different things that people said about the Fullbring arc. So that's one of the reasons why, it went downhill, and from there on it lost a large part of the fandom. I think a lot of people also left once Aizen was captured. They felt as though that was endgame boss. We don't care no more, because we were invested in Aizen as a villain for so much of the series, pretty much from the start when you think about it, because he pulled that whole ruse in the end where you find out like Aizen is just this mastermind. And I mean, there's different eras of Shonen Jump, and you can't just ignore that, because people continuously are canceling that Bleach was a part of the big three when, again, what is the big three? The term the big three was coined around 2009-ish, I want to say, for 3 series that were dominating the charts. They were the ones that absolutely made everything else in comparison pale. It was like, whoa, what's going on? Because Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach were the ones everyone was going crazy about. They absolutely sold more than everything else, and it was just a bombshell. Now, honestly, it was, for the most part in my eyes, I always seen it as, it was One Piece, Naruto, then Bleach in terms of popularity, sales, and some people would argue quality. But that was mainly worldwide. I would say in the West, it was Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. I'll just be honest. In the West, every fan that I met that was an anime manga fan was either a Naruto or Bleach fan. Online, I met a lot more One Piece fans. So there was One Piece fans spread out everywhere. But for the most part, in the West, I felt it was Naruto and Bleach that were kind of the big duo there. But for the most part, it was the big three. And people nowadays are saying that, no, it was Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and One Piece. And I'm like, no. Dragon Ball, for a while, it was kind of in a resting phase. In fact, even on YouTube, barely people talked about Dragon Ball like that. I mean, you had here or there was people that made discussions, whatever. I did them here or there, but there wasn't really a big, giant Dragon Ball community like we have today, because there wasn't really much new content. We had those little specials here or there. They tested the waters, constantly throwing out little mini OVAs and little chapters and the SD spin-offs and stuff like that. And of course we had the video games, but it wasn't alive until of course Dragon Ball Super came along. So this is a whole new era in and of itself. Dragon Ball at this point is kind of like just a grandfather that is so freaking cool that everybody respects, because there's been 2 generations since then, and there's the disconnect right there where people are not seeing that Dragon Ball wasn't a part of that generation. That generation was 100%, you cannot deny, you cannot rewrite facts, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach. Then after that era, we have Black Clover and My Hero Academia and, you know, a lot of other different series. And you want to argue we already have a new generation starting of even younger characters, because younger cast is starting to be more of a popular trend. So that's seemingly going to be the next era. But you could say you hate Bleach, you could love Bleach, whatever the case may be, but you can't deny the fact that it was a part of the big 3. That it's documented, you know what I'm saying? Go to the videos, go check the articles and stuff like that. That's what it was. And maybe the whole thing that's happening again is that we have a new generation of anime and manga fans, and they're voicing their opinions based on inexperience of not understanding what we had back then, because now a lot of people are getting online and they're talking about My Hero and Black Clover and The Promised Neverland and you know, the newer stuff, but they weren't around for the big 3, and since Bleach hasn't really had much promotion at all, they probably don't even know about it. Being honest, they probably never heard of Bleach, so they can't make an opinion, and since they're young, a lot of times younger kids will say, I don't know about it, it must be trash. No, Dragon Ball's the shit. Dragon Ball's been part of the big 3, and Dragon Ball's just kind of a grandfather at this point, because again, we had the Fist of the North Star era, then we had the Dragon Ball era, then we had the Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach era, which it wasn't just Dragon Ball, there was Rurouni Kenshin and Yu Yu Hakusho in that era. And of course, it wasn't just Fist of the North Star. I don't really know. I'm not too familiar what was rocking with Fist of the North Star back in those days, because it was more so comedy manga. Fist of the North Star kind of broke the mold. And that's where people are missing and misinformed on the whole, what is the big 3? The big 3 was Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach in terms of sales, in terms of just popularity in general. And regardless of what you say about the quality of Bleach, it's about popularity when it comes to that term, big 3. So I just kind of wanted to break that down and remind it. And for new viewers that they don't know much about the era that Bleach was in, no, Bleach was there. It was big. In fact, Bleach's anime, I would argue, was way ahead of its time when it comes to the animation and art and the direction on, you know, composing some of those incredible fights that we had, like Ukiura versus Ichigo and the Grimjoe fight. Oh my gosh, like so many incredible fights. And honestly, Bleach, it's a shame that they're still to this day not making major moves with it. I would love for some type of, you know, they had that little spin-off that was pretty cool. Like, I think I gave Bleach too much of a hard time, but that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, hit the bell to get all notifications. Please hit that bell because it's very important if you want to get the updates on my content. YouTube, you know it'd be wild. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links of course in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day. Can't forget a little of the music though.
It's come